This is Bo in the Lounge. Want to say hello to the 1.5 million listeners and the fans stationed on military bases. We're going to go out to Chandra State College, talk a little Eagles football with head coach Bill Boyle. Sir, thank you.
Bo, thanks for having me on again, buddy.
Absolutely. You know, we've been following you for about 3.5 years now. We've seen the ups and downs and the growths. You've got a lot of growth going on. You've got a lot of stuff looking forward to. What are those bright spots in the last couple of games that you can draw on?
Well, I just see intensity level, Bo. I think, we're finally figuring out who we are and kind of letting things go. And guys are just playing harder and flying around and having a good time.
Yeah, they're really having a good time. I know it's not quite the season that you wanted, but you've got a lot of kids that are showing some potential at different times of the game, a couple closed doors. Who are those guys that are, for the next couple seasons, you're really looking at to see what they do in the offseason?
Well, some of our young kids, obviously, and, what I'm really happy about is some of the recruiting classes we've had the last 2 years. A lot of those guys are redshirt freshmen and stuff right now, and some are true freshmen, really, that are exceptional and good ball players. So we're happy to have that kind of talent in our program, and we know we're going to go through some growing pains, which we're going through right now after losing two giant senior classes the last 2 years. So we're just kind of going through that right now, and we have our ups and downs, like you said, and we're making some mental mistakes right now and stuff we can correct, but we're pretty happy about our talent level right now, but it's just a matter of getting things on the right track.
Coach, as fans and as alumni and as just media, it's always hard to see a team that you're rooting for. You always want them to win every single game. I don't care if you're a national championship winner or not. It's got to be kind of hard for a coach to go in and know the expectations of the fans, even though they're in this dream state, because you have to go through a reloading stage, not a rebuilding, because you've got some talented kids there, but you got to reload them, and they've got to be educated on how to play college football. And knowing your program and how you do things, there is a certain state that they have to get to be successful in your program.
Well, you're exactly right. And it's a tough year, buddy. I mean, it's, going the last 3 years and being undefeated in our conference and winning 29 consecutive conference games and things like that. I mean, it's tough, and that success, it really doesn't teach you, that failure that's going to come sooner or later, and that's what we're dealing with right now. And our kids are doing a good job. I mean, the intensity's still there. We've lost 2 conference games this year, and we haven't done that in probably 5 or 6 years, and it's just a test of character right now and pride, and that's what we got to play for week in and week out now.
Yeah.
I doubt if we'll make the playoffs, and our conference championship hopes are pretty much dashed. So it's a matter of our guys just going out and playing hard every week, and that's I know as a staff we're gonna push them just as well as we would if we were undefeated.
Well, there's a lot to grow on, because if you just look at the records and the stats, you realize there was mistakes made. But the fact is, this group is going to be young. They're going to be growing up with you once again. And from what looks like on the board with the youth that you have, you're going to be in the next year, it's going to be much sounder, stronger, and more physical from what it looks like in the stat books.
Well, there's no doubt, Bo. And again, it's just a matter of these guys believing, and we got the right type of kids in here. And matter of fact, our recruiting classes the last couple of years, like I mentioned before, have been better than the previous years when we did win some conference championships. So we know the talent's there. It's just a matter of keeping these guys and keeping them in the classroom and keeping them on track, which we're going to. We have that type of support system here, and we're going to be fine. And we've been here before. Matter of fact, we were in a lot worse shape than this 5 years ago. So we know it's only going to get better.
Yeah, but you probably are a little stressed out. But do you have a chance? Because I know the alumni love you, I know the staff, and I know the kids have watched the success you had. But do you have a chance to sit down in a quiet moment and just go, you know what? It could be a lot worse than it is right now.
Well, there's no doubt. It's we've won 2 games this year, and there's a lot of teams that haven't even done that. It's discouraging. Nobody likes to lose, but it's a matter of getting your priorities straight, and we know we have good talent, and we're going to be okay, and I know that's coming. And these kids that stay here, they are going to be champions, and that's the light at the end of the tunnel, and we know that's going to happen. It's just a matter of playing hard each week.
Well, with all the different scouts from all the different professional outings that you have, it leads to the fact that you guys fundamentally are doing things right. The NFL doesn't usually show up in programs that are underachieving or don't develop their athletes. Just like in the NBA, you've got to have athletes that are fundamentally sound. In basketball, it's a little easier to look at somebody with raw talent and ignore the fact that they're not fundamentally sound. in football at all age levels and all brackets, you've got to be fundamentally sound. With as many cameras following your program and articles following your program from a tiny school, you are doing things fundamentally sound, even if the win-loss record doesn't reflect it at this point.
Well, we'd hope so, and that comes from everybody that's involved in this program. It isn't just me, our academic game plan support, which is run through our own program, through Jazz Baines, our defensive back coach, and what we do in the classroom and what we do off the field. I mean, it's all about character and getting the right kids in here. And, hopefully the wins will start coming again, and we'll get things rolling on that end. But, I'm very happy with the kids we have in this program and the way things have gone. And just like you mentioned before, Bo, our community sport is great in a town that's, not even 6,000. So, we're the only show in town. So it's great to have that type of support, and we're hoping it gets better.
It's almost like a storybook when you look at football programs in the Midwest, especially in Michigan. You don't see, obviously the Michigans are full, the Grand Valleys because of wins, the Saginaw Valleys, but there are other programs that do not have the massive following that you have because of your particular location. And I think that a lot of communities are missing out, or even students or fans missing out, on just the fact of showing up on a Saturday to watch a football game and really enjoy I'm trying to think of the right word, but the fanaticism of fans in the program, to see them in the stands, dressing up, take their shirts off, screaming. They're 25 years old, they haven't been to college, but they're supporting you all with cheering and screaming. That's a piece that I think of America that a lot of parts of this country do not have, because the fact of how over either saturated or distant they are from the program.
Well, there's no doubt in the community sport and how loud it is. We've talked to a bunch of coaches, and I'm very proud of the community and the support we get, and the surrounding communities, although small. I mean, we get a lot of people and whole towns that come watch our kids play, so that's important to us, and that puts people in the seat, and we're going to represent this community in this area with everything we have, and that kind of reflects on the whole area. This is a ranch type, farming type area and community, and just a hard-working blue-collar type part of the nation, and that's hopefully what we come across and how we play. So,
well, speaking of blue-collar, there's nothing that makes the season improve, especially in the next, when you have guys that have tasted victory and then the same guys have tasted defeat where they haven't. For the next year, you've got a group of sophomores and juniors that have seen victory, and now they're tasting some losses they haven't had in the program before. It almost seems like it's a great learning time for those young guys in those senior elements to move on and help bring about a greater, graver, anger and frustration, because nothing breeds football outside of, stubbing your toe and getting angry, because football is a very passion-driven sport.
Well, you got to learn from your losses, and you're right on that. I mean, we will learn, and our guys, and even after this weekend, we lost a game to University of Nebraska Kearney, a great football team. It's a big rival for us, and it was just, it's just kills me to look at their faces after that game and what it means to them to lose a game, and regardless of that game, any game. But hopefully our guys will get this ship straightened out, and we'll be fine.
Absolutely, Coach. We're going to get you on in a couple of weeks as you further go into the season, and we're going to start asking questions about that O-line, who's going to look like to be powerful next year, and find out on the offensive side and defensive side. We want to say thanks for showing up, Coach.
Well, again, thanks for your support, buddy. We appreciate it.
Hey, you're exactly what we look for and what is right in athletics. The drug testing, the grades, the academic requirements, and the fact that when you have students show up, they're students first and athletics second, and you got all our support and love. We constantly use you as a rule, and we bring you up at every chance we get, even with some of the D1 football programs. So you're doing things right there.
Good man, Bo. I really appreciate it, and anything we can do for you, let me know, man. If you never make it out here, I'll treat you right.
Absolutely, Coach. We got to get some of that tailgating going on. We've been camped up for 5 years now, and some of our feet are getting anxious to head out and travel and enjoy some of this great Americana across the country.
You got to get out here, man. You won't have any better wild game than what these guys do at our tailgate.
Absolutely. Hey, Chandra State, go Eagles, Coach Bill O'Boyle. Thank you, sir.
All right, see you, buddy.
Absolutely.